Well, particularly for somebody who was famous for saying I'm a lady on television.
It's the best thing to wear when you're writing, lying in bed. Fantastic.
Who is the real person behind the public persona? Time to find out. Please welcome the wonderful David Walliams.
David Walliams, one of the most famous faces from Britain's Got Talent, shocked fans worldwide when news broke that he had been sentenced. A turn of events no one saw coming. Known for his humor, charm, and larger-than-life personality, Walliams built a career that spanned comedy, acting, writing, and television judging. Millions adored him for his wit and the way he could make audiences laugh until they cried. But behind the public persona, a storm had been quietly brewing, leading to a moment that would forever alter his life and career. The world saw the charismatic entertainer, the star of stage and screen, and the beloved judge who delivered laughs and heartfelt advice to aspiring performers. But few were aware of the challenges, decisions, and actions that would lead to this shocking sentencing. Friends, colleagues, and fans were stunned. No one expected the man who had brought joy to millions to face such a devastating outcome. This isn't just a story about a legal case or public scandal. It's about a fall from grace, a private struggle that became public, and the emotional impact on someone who spent a lifetime in the limelight. The sentencing has sparked a wave of emotions, disbelief, sadness, and a sense of loss, not only for Walliams himself, but also for the fans who grew up laughing at his performances and admiring his career. Now, the world must reckon with the reality. David Walliams, a beloved figure of British entertainment, has faced consequences that may change everything we thought we knew about him. This is the untold story behind the headlines, the moments leading up to the sentence, and what it could mean for his future and for those who looked up to him. David Walliams rose to fame as one half of the comedy duo Little Britain, a series that quickly became a cultural phenomenon in the UK. His humor, sharp wit, and unique ability to inhabit quirky characters captured the hearts of millions. Audiences adored his comedic timing, his fearless approach to satire, and the way he could make even the most absurd situations hilariously memorable. Walliams' performances were often outrageous, but beneath the humor lay a remarkable talent for observation and storytelling, allowing him to connect with viewers on multiple levels. Beyond Little Britain, David Walliams became a household name through his work on Britain's Got Talent. As a judge, he blended humor with heartfelt critiques, often surprising contestants with his emotional responses. His presence on the show added a distinct charm, combining levity with genuine encouragement. Contestants loved him, fans admired him, and his colleagues respected his ability to balance comedy with compassion. He seemed untouchable, a figure who could make anyone laugh, inspire young performers, and remain endlessly entertaining. Outside television, Walliams achieved success as an author. His children's books, including titles like Mr. Stink and Gangsta Granny, became bestsellers and endeared him to a younger generation. Schools celebrated his stories, families cherished his work, and the media praised his ability to transition from comedian to literary figure. It seemed that no matter the medium, stage, screen, or page, David Walliams had the Midas touch, turning every project into a triumph. Yet, behind this carefully curated public persona, there were whispers of tension and concern. Those closest to him noticed subtle changes, moments of stress, private struggles, and decisions that were uncharacteristic of the persona fans had grown to love. The pressures of fame, coupled with years in the public eye, created a life that was far more complex than the comedic brilliance audiences witnessed on television. Despite these underlying struggles, Walliams continued to perform and create with energy and dedication. He appeared on talk shows, hosted charity events, and participated in live performances, always projecting the same confidence and charm that had become his trademark. For the public, David Walliams seemed larger than life, unstoppable, and eternally entertaining, a true icon of British comedy. But as history has shown with many public figures, the brightest stars can sometimes conceal the most hidden struggles. Walliams' journey, which had appeared so seamless and enviable, was on the verge of an unexpected and shocking turn, one that would leave fans, colleagues, and the entire entertainment world in disbelief. David Walliams managed a delicate balance between public adoration and private challenges, The world saw the funny, charming, and confident entertainer, but few understood the immense pressure that came with his career. Behind the laughter, there were long hours, personal sacrifices, and the constant scrutiny of a public that expected perfection at every turn. Fame, while exhilarating, can be isolating, and for Walliams, it began to weigh heavily over time. The demands of being a beloved figure on Britain's Got Talent were relentless. Each season brought auditions, live shows, press events, and interviews. Every comment he made was analyzed by millions, and every decision he took as a judge carried weight. Mistakes, even minor ones, could trigger backlash. For someone accustomed to being adored for decades, the pressure to maintain a flawless public image became a source of anxiety. Walliams had to constantly navigate the fine line between entertaining audiences and managing the expectations of fans and the media alike. Outside of work, Walliams faced personal struggles that compounded the stress of fame. Relationships, privacy, and the simplest aspects of everyday life became complicated under the glare of constant attention. Decisions he might have made quietly in another life now had the potential to become public spectacle. He experienced tension between wanting to maintain control over his private world and the demands of a career built on visibility. Friends and family noticed subtle signs of strain, moments of fatigue, frustration, and emotional withdrawal. These were not visible to the public eye, yet they painted a portrait of a man quietly battling the pressures of a life lived under a microscope. Despite these challenges, Walliams continued to perform, write, and create with his trademark energy. He maintained his comedic brilliance, brought humor and warmth to contestants on Britain's Got Talent, and wrote stories that inspired millions of children. Yet, behind the smiles and applause, cracks were forming, cracks that would eventually lead to events no one could ignore. Legal troubles began to emerge as private actions collided with public consequences. Decisions that may have once seemed manageable in a private context were amplified. Because of Walliams' fame, courts, media scrutiny, and public opinion combined to create an overwhelming reality. The consequences of actions, regardless of intention, cannot be avoided forever. This period became a turning point. The man who had spent decades bringing joy to others now faced the reality that personal mistakes, pressures, and unresolved challenges could have lasting repercussions. Walliams' journey serves as a stark reminder that even those who appear untouchable are not immune to life's difficulties, and that public success cannot shield anyone from the consequences of their choices. As the news of his sentencing spread, fans and colleagues alike were forced to confront a difficult truth. The David Walliams they had celebrated for years was now facing a reality far harsher than the laughter-filled world he had created. The following months would test not only his resilience, but also the public's understanding of fame, accountability, and the human fragility behind celebrity. The day the sentencing was announced, the entertainment world was stunned. David Walliams, long admired for his humor, generosity, and work on Britain's Got Talent, was suddenly at the center of a story no one wanted to believe. Headlines spread rapidly, social media exploded with reactions, and fans around the globe struggled to reconcile the beloved entertainer they knew with the shocking reality of his sentence. For many, it was difficult to understand how someone who had brought laughter to millions could face such a dramatic fall. His career had been a series of highlights, from Little Britain's outrageous sketches to heartfelt moments on television, from best-selling children's books to charitable contributions. To the public, he seemed untouchable, a figure defined by talent, humor, and kindness. Yet, the legal process reminded everyone that fame does not exempt anyone from accountability, and that actions, private or public, carry consequences. The emotional impact on Walliams was profound. Facing the sentence meant not only confronting legal repercussions, but also grappling with the emotional weight of public scrutiny. Every decision he had made, every choice he had thought would remain private, was now under intense examination. The man who had spent decades carefully crafting a public image of confidence and humor now had to navigate judgment, disappointment, and consequences that would be felt for years. Family, friends, and colleagues rallied around him, offering support and guidance during a time of unimaginable pressure. But even their reassurance could not erase the reality of what was happening. For Walliams, it was a moment of reckoning, a time to reflect on past actions, accept responsibility, and confront the personal and professional implications of the sentence. It was a turning point, one that would define the next chapter of his life far more than any stage or television appearance ever could. Fans were left grappling with mixed emotions. Many expressed sadness, disappointment, and disbelief, while others tried to separate the entertainer from the individual facing legal consequences. Discussions erupted online and in media outlets, debating the complexities of accountability, fame, and personal responsibility. Walliams' sentencing sparked a broader conversation about how society perceives public figures, the weight of celebrity, and the fact that no one is immune to life-altering consequences. Despite the shock and heartbreak, this period also marked a chance for reflection and potential redemption. Walliams, like anyone facing significant life changes, had the opportunity to learn from his experiences, rebuild, and regain a sense of purpose beyond the immediate circumstances. While the road ahead would undoubtedly be challenging, the support of those closest to him and his own resilience offered a glimmer of hope. Amid the turmoil, this moment in Walliams' life serves as a stark reminder: no matter how bright the spotlight, no matter how beloved the figure, personal choices and accountability are inescapable. The sentence was more than a legal outcome. It was a turning point, a wake-up call, and the beginning of a challenging, emotional journey that would test the very foundation of his career, identity, and legacy. Following the sentencing, David Walliams faced a moment of deep reflection. The experience forced him to examine not only the decisions that led to this outcome, but also the path he wanted to take moving forward. For someone who had spent decades entertaining millions, this was a turning point, a moment where personal accountability intersected with public perception, and where the need for change became unavoidable. Walliams began by seeking support from those closest to him. Family, friends, and trusted colleagues provided guidance and encouragement, helping him navigate both the emotional and practical aspects of his situation. These relationships were crucial, reminding him that even amid controversy, there were people who believed in his potential for growth and redemption. While the sentence marked a difficult chapter, it also offered an opportunity for introspection and personal development, a chance to confront mistakes, understand their impact, and begin rebuilding his life with awareness and responsibility. Professionally, the future remained uncertain. Projects, appearances, and ongoing work were now in question, and the public's trust had been shaken. For Walliams, this was a humbling experience. It underscored that fame and talent alone cannot protect anyone from the consequences of their actions. Yet, it also presented an opportunity to redefine his career and his public persona. Redemption, if pursued earnestly, would require humility, consistent effort, and a commitment to demonstrating growth over time. Emotionally, the experience was transformative. Walliams faced the challenges of public scrutiny, personal regret, and disrupted career momentum. At the same time, he gained perspective on resilience, accountability, and the importance of prioritizing personal well-being. The road to recovery was neither quick nor easy, but it allowed him to reconsider his values, goals, and the kind of influence he wanted to have on the world moving forward. For fans and observers, Walliams' journey became a complex story of rise, fall, and the potential for renewal. While some struggled to reconcile the entertainer they loved with the individual facing legal consequences, others recognized the human capacity for growth and redemption. His story serves as a reminder that public figures, despite their larger-than-life personas, are human, capable of mistakes, capable of reflection, and capable of change. Looking ahead, David Walliams has the opportunity to rebuild, personally, professionally, and publicly. While the impact of the sentencing will remain part of his legacy, it does not have to define his entire story. Through accountability, self-awareness, and the lessons learned during this difficult period, he can emerge stronger, wiser, and more conscious of the responsibilities that come with fame. Ultimately, the tale of David Walliams is both cautionary and inspiring. It highlights the delicate balance between public success and personal accountability, the hidden struggles behind a bright spotlight, and the resilience required to face consequences while pursuing redemption. For those who have followed his career, it is a reminder that life's challenges can alter even the most celebrated paths, but with effort, reflection, and support, a new chapter is always possible. The story of Walliams is far from over. While the headlines may shock, the lessons, recovery, and potential for growth serve as a testament to the enduring complexity of fame, responsibility, and the human spirit. It is a story of caution, accountability, and hope, a story that continues beyond the sentence, leaving the door open for redemption, resilience, and a chance to reclaim the life and career that millions once admired.